Hi guys! If you haven't noticed, my channel has a name. I decided on Flickers of Hope because I like to focus on finding those little flickers of blessings every single day that we have. And I'm also going to be featuring some of you that give me flickers of hope as well. So, welcome to my channel. If you're new, I'm Jessica. And I thought it would be fun to give you some random facts about me. I'm going to try to think of 50 facts about me. And so here we go. 1, I was born 2.5 months early and only weighed 2.5 pounds. I have lived in Utah most of my life, with the exception of living in London for a summer. I did study abroad with UVU. Back then it was UVSC. That's how old I am. Let's see, 3. Oh, and I also lived in Tucson, Arizona for 18 months while I served a mission in Tucson, Arizona. I met my husband while I was serving my mission in Tucson, Arizona. And we started dating a year after we had been home. And we have been married 9 years. It will be 10 years in July. So that's awesome. Let's see. So that's 5 things about me. I love ice cream. I have a major sweet tooth. I also like most candies. I really love anything peach, or currently I'm loving anything pumpkin flavored because it's the fall. I repeated 6th grade. So my birthday is in the summer, and so in elementary school I was the youngest and I felt like I was behind, and so I took 6th grade when we moved, because 6th grade was in elementary school in the city we moved from, and then we moved and 6th grade was in middle school, so I decided to take 6th grade, which was awesome because then all of a sudden I was the oldest, and it really helps me with not being behind. I have had nose surgery. I had a deviated septum, and so they did nose surgery. It's still crooked, and I always used to be really self-conscious about my nose. And in elementary school, people were really mean about my nose and said that I had a pig nose. So I've always been really self-conscious about my nose, but I'm learning to love it. Yes, I love anything. I already think I said I already love peach flavored, raspberry flavor. Those are usually my go-to if there's a flavoring of something. I love to read. One of my favorite books is Anne of Green Gables or The Giver. And if you have any book recommendations, let me know. I also really love Harry Potter. Who doesn't love Harry Potter? And I like to go fishing and camping and being outdoors. My idea of fishing, though, I like to go out on the boat and eat treats and socialize and take naps on the front of the boat. So I like to go, and sometimes I catch a fish and put my pole in the water, and sometimes I don't even fish, but I enjoy going with my family and doing fishing. Growing up, most of our family vacations consisted of camping. I went to Yellowstone and absolutely loved Yellowstone. And we've been to Flaming Gorge and some other places, but yeah, most of our family vacations consisted of camping, so I grew up camping in a tent and loved it. I like to journal and scrapbook and things like that, even though I haven't done it for a while. I need to get better at it. I went to UVU for a little while, and I was studying my generals basically, and really loved taking American Sign Language. I loved it. So if I were to go back to school, I'd probably learn to be an interpreter, or I would focus on makeup design and theater makeup, stuff like that, because I really am enjoying makeup right now. I went to cosmetology school at Taylor Andrews and loved it. I completed their makeup course as well. So I am licensed as a cosmetologist. I currently am not working as a cosmetologist because I want to focus on being a mom, and I'm really loving that. But when the time comes, I will focus on doing hair and makeup more. There's a time and a season for everything, right? Oh shoot, I was thinking of all these things and then I forgot. I hate hot dogs. I don't really like to eat anything pork, but I do like meat. I'm not like a vegan or a vegetarian or anything, but I do like chicken and beef, but I hate pretty much anything pork. Bacon is the worst, and hot dogs are the worst. Ugh. I do not like feet. I don't like to be tickled. I love chocolate. I love to travel. I've been to a lot of different states, and my goal is to make it to all of the states. I've also been to Europe. I went to Europe when I was a senior in high school with a group and toured Europe for 2 weeks. I went to London, France, or Paris, Switzerland, and Italy, and then we came home. And then, like I said, I did a study abroad in London when I was in college. And then I went to Scotland while I was there. So I've been to Scotland. I would love to travel more. And this last summer we got to go to Alaska, and David and I were able to go to the Dominican Republic he went for work and I just went and tagged along and enjoyed the nice sunshine in the Dominican Republic, and I would totally go back. I worked at KFC in high school and still have nightmares that I have to go back and work there. The manager wasn't very nice to me. But it did help me earn money for Europe, so I'm grateful for that. I've also worked at, I was a leasing agent, and then I became a manager. I worked in the apartment industry for about 5 years, and I sometimes think about going back to work there, but other times not so much. It was a very stressful job. I worked as a financial aid office advisor at Taylor Andrews as well once I graduated, and that was fun. I also worked as a receptionist for Taylor Andrews. Totally loved it. I enjoy watching movies. Some of my favorites are Wizard of Oz, Wild Hearts Can't Be Broken, Disney movies. I love Disney movies, and I dislike scary movies. I also like the X-Men and Captain America and that genre of movie as well. Star Wars. I'm currently doing a fitness challenge, a 30-day fitness challenge, and it might kill me. I have been doing fitness challenges with a group of friends since my son was a baby, and they help motivate me to exercise and stay healthy, so it's a lot of fun. This challenge is Star Wars themed, but we have also done Harry Potter. We've done, there's some other ones, but I can't remember them off the top of my head. So lots of fun, and it gets me working out, so that's important. I currently help out with the youth in our church organization. I am Mormon or LDS, and we volunteer and help out. I get to help out with the girls that are ages 12 to 13, and it's my favorite thing ever. Shout out to my young women, I love you. And so they get me out of my comfort zone, and I get to do a lot of fun things with them. This is hard to think of things about myself, just so you know. I am not a morning person. I would much prefer to sleep in and stay up late. My favorite classes in high school were photography, interior design, foods, those sort of things. My least favorite classes were English and Spanish and probably math. I am the worst speller in the entire world. I was reading one of my old journals, and the word I was trying to spell was actually, and I ended up spelling it. It was a swear word. It was the A word plus holy, and that's how I spelled actually. I got a good laugh out of that. I hope you did too. I used to want 6 kids, but because it's taken us so long to have kids, I think I've changed my mind to maybe having 2 or 3. If I were to have a girl, I would want her name to be Quinn. David would want her name to be Claire, so we'll see who wins. One of my pet peeves is if I'm waiting for someone, I'm driving and someone is crossing the street and they're taking their sweet little time crossing the street. That drives me crazy. If someone's polite enough to wait for you, you should hustle across the street. I'm just saying. I used to watch Oprah faithfully every single day after school. I don't know why now when I look back on it, but it was one of those things I had to do. I watched Oprah with my mom, and we loved Oprah. I love watching The Bachelor and Bachelorette. That is one of my shows that I love to watch. I have never broken a bone, unless you count my nose surgery, and I've probably broken my nose. But other than that, no major bones. I have had stitches. I got stitches in my thumb once because I cut it on a box of saran wrap. So be careful when you're opening your saran wrap. And I also had surgery when I was born because I was premature. I had an infection in one of my intestines, so they had to do surgery. So I have a scar across my stomach. And those are the 2 major stitches and, those things. 4th of July is my favorite holiday. I'm kind of a Grinch when it comes to Christmas. It's not that I don't like it, but it stresses me out. And it's cold in wintertime, and I much prefer 4th of July. It's a lot less stressful. My favorite color is purple, but I don't have a least favorite color. I like all colors. I like BYU, and my husband likes Utah, so we are house divided, and that's okay. My school mascot is a Dawn. If you don't know what a Dawn is, it's like Zorro. So super exciting. My favorite animal is a giraffe. I like dogs. I don't like cats. We had pet fish growing up, and one of my fish was a cave fish, and so they don't have any eyes because you don't need eyes when you live in a cave and it's dark. so it didn't have any ice, and it lived for quite a while. My favorite drink is Pepsi, or if I can't get my hands on Pepsi, then I like vanilla Coke. I love pajamas and could live in my pajamas all day long. I like to be comfortable. I like to play games with my family and friends. Currently, my favorite game is Spot It. If you haven't played it, then you should. I like to do fun events type things, and in the summer I am in charge of Smith Family Olympics. And what that means is I pretty much try to make everyone be as ridiculous as possible, and we have so much fun. And I'm glad that my family is a good sport about it. I need to do one for the Stoddard family side because it's a lot of fun. I am the oldest child. I have one brother and one sister. I used to be a huge feminist. Now I'm just a little one. But in high school, I wrote a letter to the mayor of the town telling him he was a sexist pig because he wouldn't let the girls have a basketball team and he let the girls. That's how I felt about it. My best friend growing up her name is Nicole. We're still really good friends, and we used to do everything together. Sometimes people didn't know who was who, so people would call me Nicole often, and they would call her Jessica because we were always together, and we had a lot of fun together. I had my first kiss when I was 15, and not too exciting. I kissed my husband on our first date. The funny thing about that was neither of us knew that we were on a date or not because we said we were hanging out, and I didn't know whether it was a date or not, and he didn't know it was a date or not, but when we kissed, I decided it was a date. Malcolm wants to help. What are some things about Mommy? I honestly have lost count of how many I've shared with you, so let's call this good. If you have any other questions, leave a comment down below. And I have a question for you. What is your favorite flavor of ice cream? What's your favorite flavor of ice cream, Malcolm?
White.
Malcolm likes the white kind.
I like the white kind.
Say thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching, friends.
If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And click subscribe if you're new so you can see new content. My goal is to post every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Bye. Moo, moo, moo.